Welcome in. My gosh, we meet again for like nearly the 570th time. It might be. This may be podcast number 570. That's just crazy to me. From something that started from nothing, just complete scratch. No time to reminisce. Shut up, dum-dum. It is the 21st of April, 2021. Show comes to you each and every weekday morning from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now. He didn't care.
Zaniacs. Here's a man who's usually wrong.
He didn't care.
But he doesn't care.
He didn't care.
Here's a man who
eat things that'll make a billy goat puke.
you're now rocking with the best. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast. And here's your host, Eric Zane.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that, buddy. Where you been? What are you doing with yourself, young man? Well, welcome back. As you know, this is a daily podcast where I cover news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the week. Yes, indeed. I'm so glad you are here. The show, of course, is... you can get it in one of several ways on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Please follow the page, like it, all that shit. That would be awesome. If you would share it, that would be cool too. That is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Get your cars fixed there. Then, of course, a Periscope video on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Eric Zane Show. That, of course, brought to you by Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast, reminding myself to pay my bill. I had a long list of things to do yesterday, and I did like none of them. Are you like me? This is the only way, in my opinion, to get shit done. Okay? The only way to get shit done is you click on the function Notes on the iPhone or whatever device you use. And then I have two lists going. One list is titled To Do, and another list is titled Talk About. To Do is all of the things during the day. Like, pay HOA, pay Homeowners Association. They send you a bill every year to be part of the thing, which I think the $175 gets me. Every other year, my mailbox gets stained, and they maintain the sign out front of the neighborhood, and they like mow the grass and take care of like the landscaping. I think that's what that does. That's all I know. I just get it and I just pay it. I got to pay Blue Frost. I wrote down football ticks. Here's the deal. The folks at the West Michigan Ironmen, they sent me all these e-tickets. Okay. And they go, yeah, give these away. And I go, that sounds awesome. So I've got several of you that said, hey, I'd love to go to that Friday game. So I get the damn tickets. And then Nate, who is one of the guys who runs the show and the coach of the team, he goes, yeah, just click on the tickets and just forward them. I go, well, I can't. What do you mean? Well, I try to click on it. And you know how like you have arrow on the screen? That means, well, it's a cursor, but there's no pointy finger. If I hit pointy finger, I can click on it and then send it, but there's no pointy finger thing. So I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on. He goes, yeah, I don't know either. And I'm like, well, you got to find out well, I don't know. How am I going to find this out? Then I got to send some bills. I got to do the Megan walk-up kids audio. What is that, Eric? Megan from Irvine's, she asked me to do the, now batting, the shortstop, number 45, Caleb Houseman, or whatever the kid's name might be. I made that up. I got to get blood work for the kidney. You see, when you donate the kidney, they like you to do follow-up blood work, like every 6 months, a year, and 2 years, to make sure your body's not falling apart, because UCLA likes those stats. And if it's good news, they add it to the pile of good stats. For people who've done living kidney donation in the United States, the percentage of success is like 99.5%. UCLA is like 99.8%. They're actually better than the average, which is, I mean, it's pretty great, the amount of success that they have. Bummer if you're the guy who actually donates it and then something goes off the rails. They like tell you, oh, yeah, you got everything. You're like, oh, no. What's going on here? All right, so I completely digress. So anyway, yeah, that's how I do it. I do it with my to-do lists. That's the only way I get anything done. And then if you look on this list, look how long this to-do list is over the months and years that I've been keeping this list. These are all things that I've accomplished. And it might say things like pick up poo in backyard, mow grass, have sex. Sorry. And then there's talk about list. Talk about list is what gets the show done. You see how there's like breaks in between each jumble of words? Those are individual shows. And that's like how long I've been taking notes about what to do to talk about on this podcast. Look, I could sit here and scroll this forever. My God. The show is also on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube, Eric Zane Show on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification, then the thumbs up button. Also, download the audio podcast wherever you download podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox. If you would on any of those, would you subscribe? Would you give me 5 stars and then review it? Subscribe to it. Throw me 5 stars. And review it. I've got some blowback from, it looks like Jason and Kenny, and maybe even Theron, who do not like homeowners associations. Now, I've heard stories on the news about homeowners associations, but mine is awesome. I have a good group here. They are very, very calm and measured because I break all the rules. You're not supposed to leave your garbage cans in front of the house. Guess who does? You're not supposed to leave your garage door open. Guess who does? You're not supposed to leave anything other than the cars in the driveway. Guess who breaks that rule? Your old pal Eric. I break. Guess who lets his lawn grow way too long? Eric. I'm the guy that they're like, oh, God. And they give me a break all the time. You got no complaints. You guys cannot paint with such broad strokes all the time. The idea that Patriot Nick is saying HOAs suck, it's the people that are the problems, okay? I've lived here for like 11 years, and I've had no problem. Just because you assholes sit there and have trouble on your own or whatever. Maybe you just buy into the headlines too much. There's a lot of stories right now. Of things going on in the world where I think you morons are buying into the story way too much. Pelosi and the Oakland Raiders. You morons are led to think that she did something wrong and that the Oakland Raiders did something wrong. I'm just going to get out in front of this. Neither of those things are true. I'm going to play you the proof. And you guys, this is what you idiots do. You sit there and you get a headline, and the headline frames it in a certain way and puts a lens on it, and then you immediately agree with it. And you don't think, okay? You that's the problem with you. And you think that these things are a real problem because it's being framed a certain way, but you're not thinking with your own brain. I listened to exactly what she said, and there isn't a problem in the world with what she said. By the way, Kent writes, who the F is Cahuvin? Did I spell that wrong? I probably did. It's the dyslexia coming out. You know what it means. So I'll get to all that coming up. All right. I need questions for Dear Meathead. I have a couple of them ready to go. A couple from the Facebook post that I made. But I need more. Eric at ericzaneshow.com for Dear Meathead, brought to you by JM Synthetics. Looking forward to hearing from Dad and talking to him. Always a treat. Always fun. I'll take my notes on the meathead-isms, and off we go. I want to read one of the questions right now. Okay? Here's a question. It comes to us from a lady named Jackie, who, wow, it's weird. She has the exact same last name as me. Dear Meathead, I need some advice. My dad tends to wear the same type of clothes every day, a sweatshirt and sweatpants. Sometimes he wears the exact same outfit for days on end. It's not true. It's happened once or twice, usually on the weekend. I am thinking about buying him some normal clothes, but I worry that I will be wasting my money because he will just continue to wear the sweatshirt and sweatpants. Do you think I should get rid of his sweatshirts and sweatpants? You better not. So he is forced to wear the new clothes that I buy him. Yours truly, Jackie. Yeah, all right. I'll be happy to read this to my dad, your grandpa. But, you know, I can just tell you right now that I really like comfort. I am big on comfort, and I am comfortable wearing what I'm wearing right now. I haven't worn anything but sweatpants and hoodies. If you ever want your, if you have a business and you put it on a hoodie, I'm probably going to wear it on this show. It's an easy way to get your show marketed is by sending me in the mail a hooded sweatshirt. Okay? Because it gets cold in this room. Now, during the summer months, that's not going to happen. But in the colder months in Michigan, which is like 11 months out of the year, you can be rest assured that I'll be wearing that. And the pants, the sweatpants, I mean, come on. It's not like I'm losing weight. I'm getting fatter by the day, and my pants keep getting more and more tight. So, you know, this is perfect. And who wouldn't want to sit around in slippers? This is the life. For 2 years, 3.5 months, I've done nothing but wear sweatpants, frickin' slippers, and a hoodie. This is excellent. This is exactly what I want. So, yes, young lady, you would be wasting your money. I cannot wait to hear what your grandfather says about this. You pain in the ass. I gave Jackie a phone call yesterday. Called her up, and I found out that Cahuvin trial was going to the verdict. So they're about to announce the verdict in like half an hour, so I called her up. And she lives downtown Grand Rapids, and I go, so this verdict is coming down in the next half hour. Yeah. I go, just letting you know, unless it is guilty on all counts, well, you know, honestly, if they get him on one murder charge, that might be okay. But if he does not get convicted of murder and he only gets manslaughter, and God forbid this murderer doesn't get anything at all, if by some reason there's some miscarriage of justice and he gets nothing, lock your door and don't leave. Stay inside, for God's sake, no matter what. And I said, even if the verdict does work out in their favor, I would still be very, very concerned. I'm probably a little less concerned, and it turns out I was right, because the guy was guilty, as I knew I knew he was guilty, but I did not think he was going to be convicted at all. So let's just get right into it. I predicted they would get him on manslaughter. But the way the charges were laid out, you know, this was not a first-degree murder charge. This is a second-degree and a third-degree murder charge. But I don't know, man. When I see Derek Chauvin, and man, if you're told you've just been convicted of murder and probably the rest of your life you're going to be behind bars, more than likely, or at least a long part of it. I mean, I don't know. He's going to be sentenced in like 8 weeks. which is why the hell does that take so long? It would take all of my strength not to just break down and cry right there. To me, you're getting a look at the man's soul when there's no reaction somehow. When you've just been told that you're not going to see anybody for the rest of your life. And here's what gets me about the whole thing. Why in the world? I just wish there was a way that anybody could pick the brain of that guy, or he could come out and have a conversation with people, and just why did you kneel on him for so long? At some point there was no fight left in him, so why didn't you just get off of him after 4 minutes? When he wasn't dead. And all right, let's go, and put him in the car. And I mean, why so long? I'm just curious, because he slowly was fading. What were you waiting for is my question. And I'm not even asking that in a malicious way. I'm just wondering what were you waiting for to transpire before you finally said, "Okay, guys, let's wrap this up and get out of here and go home, or take this guy downtown or whatever the hell and book him." Instead, we got what we got, and that is this poor son of a bitch dying right there on the street. I mean, my God. So. Yeah, I'd be curious to wonder what he was thinking. For me, the nail in the coffin was when his boss, the chief there, was like, "Yeah, there's no way he was following protocol." When people who worked above him made it very, very clear that this was a huge problem and not at all correct. That was and what it seemed to me like the final nail in the coffin. There's no way this guy's going to outdistance himself from that. When people who are his superiors are saying this was absolutely poorly done. So, okay, there's that. This was weird. I just didn't see it the way it was presented to me. It was presented to me about Nancy Pelosi. And this is what I got. Nancy Pelosi, this is what Dirk said. "Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing yourself for justice." He quoted her. And then he sent the link. And whatever this place that produces the content headlines it as "Crazy Nancy Pelosi," all caps, "stuns. Thanks, George Floyd, for dying after verdict." And then Dirk said, which is kind of a joke, "Think George would like a mulligan for justice?" And I wrote, "Oh boy." I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be bad. But then I listened to it, and I don't have a problem with any of this. When you frame it, when this site frames it as "Crazy Nancy Pelosi stuns and thanks George Floyd for dying after verdict." Yeah, I just to me that's, I don't know, that's putting like a different type of lens on the whole thing with the headline, which frankly I've done before myself on my own site for stories that I think that I really believe on one side of. But I tried to listen to this with a little bit of objectivity when I heard it. And I don't have any problem with what she said.
We saw it happen. And thank God the jury validated what we saw. So again, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom. "I can't breathe." But because of you, and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous with justice. And
Nancy Pelosi. What the hell's wrong with that? Why is that a problem? What am I missing? I guess, can someone help me? Am I supposed to be why am I supposed to be upset with that? That didn't sound bad at all to me. I know that the people around her weren't upset, and I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything, haven't looked, but at the same time, I haven't seen anybody that are close to the Floyd family that are like, can you believe that? Can you believe she just said that? So, it seems to me that the wrong people are getting worked up over nothing. Who cares what you all think? You people who probably, like this rumble.com is probably the type of site that would have painted George Floyd as the type of guy who died because his heart was enlarged or because he had drugs. And, frankly, for all the people who were making those comments about, I know why he died. He died because he was a drug addict. He died because his heart was enlarged. He died because of carbon monoxide. Yeah, no, he didn't. Come on now. Give me a break. He died because, he may have had all those problems. And but if George Floyd didn't have that dude leaning on his neck for that long, he'd be taking drugs today, for God's sake. He'd still be alive. And I don't sit there and insult anybody when they have an addiction. I mean, my God, look at me and the people I work with all the time, and I have friends. So God bless the drug addicts, for God's sake. Fix the comments on the screen. It's blinking like fuck. Boy, that's weird. Sorry about that. I don't know why. Rumble is like YouTube. People can upload videos and title it however they want. All right, I see. Didn't know that. Well, whoever titled that, I don't agree with any of that. I thought that sounded fine to me. I don't have a problem with any of it. He didn't die from being knelt on, Jason says. A coroner report proved that, but was ignored, I guess. Dirk says, Dear Trayvon Martin, thanks for dying and bringing attention to neighborhood watches. See how that sounds? I think you're kind of spinning that in kind of a strange way. Tio says, Floyd didn't sacrifice himself. He died from lack of oxygen, Kate says, due to being knelt on. Yeah, so is the suggestion being made that if he didn't have a knee on him, he wouldn't have had if he had a knee on him, he died from lack of oxygen, right? Richard writes, you apparently did not watch the trial. This cop had 17 other offenses of the same treatment of people. He was a sociopath with a badge. He treated society as a herd of people that must submit to his commands or get your neck busted. Even other cops spoke out against him. It's a good point. Jason says cops all over are now going to be very hands-off, which is going to result in more injury to cops and suspects. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We can't exactly look into a crystal ball and predict the future. You don't know that, nor does any cop or anybody else. Theron, who has been on one side of this from the beginning, says George Floyd's family got $27 million as well. So what? What do you expect, Theron? If your son was killed, would you just go, oops? What would you do? Nick says 4 times the lethal dose of the drug he was on that's known to suppress lung function. And Theron says, I don't blame cops now for walking off the job. Well, we have a divided bunch, to be sure. I'm sorry that all you dummies are busy being wrong for the rest of your day. Then there's this. Speaking of people that are getting all worked up about Nancy Pelosi and her comments, which, I'm not a fan of her in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just calling it like I hear it. There was nothing wrong with that comment. So get over yourselves. I don't get this either. This dude with the really bad haircut for the Oakland Raiders, Mark Davis, okay? The son of Al Davis. Now, Mark Davis this is another example of just one person or a couple of people seeing something and then saying, hey, this is offensive. And then everybody jumps on board, okay? This guy, Mark Davis, this was his call. He's taking full responsibility for this. And I wish he would stop. He's kind of accepting the opinion of people that this was a terrible thing, but he's not removing it. So it's just kind of weird. The Las Vegas Raiders organization tweeted out the words, I can breathe, and then the date, 4/20/21. Now, clearly, this means that they're like exhaling after the end of the trial and they can now breathe again. And that is also similar to the words, but the opposite, obviously, of what George Floyd said that started this whole thing up. When he was dying, he said, I can't breathe. And then the Raiders. Now, I don't know, maybe I just don't have a lens that causes me to get pissed off when I see shit. But if I had first seen that tweet, I would never have thought in a second that this was tone deaf or stupid or anything like that. It would just seem to me like a sports organization is tweeting out their support now in a way that has to do with the trial and what this man said. I don't have any problem at all. But the whole world turned on Mark Davis, and they're calling it the most tone-deaf tweet that has ever happened. And I'm like, it is? What's going on here? Why is that? To me, that sounds very supportive. So, but everybody is just killing him, and he took it. He took the abuse. He says, that's my tweet. That was me. I don't want anyone in the organization taking heat. I take full responsibility for that. No way. He needs to say, fuck you. I feel like we can breathe now, and it absolutely is a play on the words of what the dying man said when the piece of shit cop was kneeling on his knee. And we can breathe now because now we know that, holy shit, some justice was served. We can breathe. So fuck you to anybody who has a problem with it. And I wish Nancy Pelosi would turn around and have another press conference and said, to all you assholes that have a problem with me saying George Floyd sacrificed his life for justice, fuck you too, and give them the double middle fingers. Too many fucking assholes in the world are ready to jump on everything when people are just speaking how they feel. Fuck off. It's absolutely horrible. I don't give a shit what anybody says. This is bullshit. Yeah, you're tone deaf. Whoever this guy is with the blue check mark says he's Ed Graney posted a story about it, about the whole story. Like many pro sports teams, the Raiders organization posted a tweet on Tuesday evening alluding to Derek Chauvin's murder conviction. But while most pro sports teams aim for a short, straightforward boilerplate message about the verdict, the Raiders opted for something far stranger. They write, I can breathe is the text overlaying a black background with the date 4/20/21, which has its own unrelated connotations. Who cares? Are you trying to tie in the marijuana thing? Come on, give me a break. Directly below the Raiders logo is also shown. As of 6 p.m., the tweet is still up on Twitter. In fact, it's the pinned Raiders tweet. So people are making a big deal about this because they pinned it. See, this is a fucking mob mentality. One asshole says this is tone deaf, and then everybody goes, yeah, let's get him. Fuck that. Whoever this is wrote, there are far too many critiques of the Raiders tweet to list here. It is perhaps the most reviled social media post a sports team has ever served up. Yeah, there's nothing negative about this. You're just saying that and pinning it that way and putting it in your own lens, which makes more idiots like you jump on board and say, yeah, we got to go after the Raiders. None of these people who are jumping on board felt that way when they first saw it. They're just going on the fact that one idiot led them to it, and they're formulating the same opinion based on that. It's stupid. Not even their own fucking thought. Who in the organization thought this was a good enough idea to not only tweet but make a pinned message? Was it owner Mark Davis? Damn it! I wish this Davis wouldn't act like such a pussy and say, "Yeah, it's not weird in any way. We can breathe." People are stupid. I've about had it. So this guy gets sentenced in 4 weeks. There you go. That's my take on, I guess I spelled his name wrong, Chauvin. Guy's a piece of shit. We all, cops should never do their jobs the way he did his. He made a huge mistake. And now these other three got to face the music too. I don't know if that's going to be such an easy battle to convict them. And frankly, I haven't even looked into what exactly the charges are against them, but they're next up for basically doing nothing and letting this poor son of a bitch die in the street. All right. Last night was a big night for your Grand Rapids Griffins. Man, these games, it's a damn shame that only a handful of you can see these games. Okay? And we only are allowed 750 fans into these games. Okay? And hold on a second. All right. Boy, I cannot believe I've already eaten through 30 minutes of the show. I'm expecting a guest on, actually. Dan Hasty from the West Michigan Whitecaps. In fact, I need to text him. Hold on. I could have swore I sent you an email, Dan. Hang on here. This is going to be awkward. Daniel. Am I spelling that right? See, I need a link to send to anybody who's joining me. And I did send it. But apparently he didn't get it. Hold on a second here. Hi, Dan. Period. I just sent it. Period. I actually sent it twice. Period. This is terribly embarrassing. My first thought was I sent it to the wrong email. I was freaking out. All right, well, I wait on Dan. Dan's got a great story. Something really cool happened to him. And, oh, damn it. I sent it to him twice, and I sent it to the wrong damn email twice. You know what he does? He put in an extra initial. D-A-N. Aha! This is terribly embarrassing. I'm so sorry about this. None of this is going to come out in post. The T got me. The T got me. This is so awful. Cringe of the week right here. Cringe of the week. Son of a bitch. Meathead vaccine question. I see that. Thank you, Kenny. All right. Well, I wait on Dan. Watch this. Griffins game last night. They end up winning the game 5-3, trailing going into the third period. But watch this moment right here. You're going to see Dylan McElrath come flying in with a huge hit. My gosh, was this awesome. Watch this hit. Okay. Cleveland scores. Next thing you know, here we go. And right, Oh, there. And that leads to this. Brett Gallant, who's a tough guy, little smaller than Mac, and these two start throwing bombs. Watch Mac's head. Mac gets hit pretty hard right there. And then these two are serious punch in the face contest. You don't see fights like this that much in hockey these days. But this one, he starts working the left, and then Brett Gallant, he got cut right there. And he's bleeding all over the place. Look at him. This was a hell of a scrap. I love this. The place, all 750 fans were going cuckoo bananas. And then the Griffins end up getting the win. So that was an impressive thing to be sure. Holy crap. All right, let's bring him in. Dan Hasty, how are you, young man?
What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good morning.
So I have a confession to make. I sent you the first email, and then I sent you the second email, and the letter T between your name, your first name and your last name tripped me up both times.
Yeah, what an idiot. Am I right?
Oh my gosh. I'm sitting in here and I'm like live on the podcast and I'm like, this is terrible. What am I doing? And I thought, like, gosh. So I am so happy to have you here. First of all, Dan, it's been way too long. How are you doing?
It's good to talk to you. Yeah, it's been good. I mean, haven't called, a Whitecaps game since September of 2019. And of course, with no minor league baseball season last year, it was a strangely good time to have our first child. So have been learning a lot about that over the course of the past year.
Oh, what came into the world? Baby boy, baby girl?
Baby girl, Josephine, or Josie as we call her. And thankfully, she really, really likes VeggieTales because that's what's on upstairs right now while mommy's at work and daddy's downstairs.
That's fantastic. And you're getting set. I know that the West Michigan Whitecaps are they're going to have 1,000 to 2,000 fans per game. Is that what I'm understanding as the season gets underway?
I think it's a little over 2. You can have, I believe, 20% right now. And I think our ballpark is about 10,000 or so max capacity. I think it's like 25% right now. So we're expecting around 2,000, which honestly, given what happened last year, we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the season normally starts when? Because it's not starting exactly on time, right?
It's starting on May the 4th. We usually we'll have been playing baseball games by now.
Right.
So, yeah, we start on May the 4th, and we're planning on going through pretty much almost the end of September. So, look, you understand this as good as anybody. April baseball sucks. October baseball, September baseball, inject that into my veins. I will take that 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm excited about it, and I think that since it has been so long, whenever any of these events pop up, like Whitecaps game at a certain percentage of capacity or the Griffins, the fans, they just eat it up, man. They just love it because and it's kind of like a lottery to be able to get the tickets. As soon as you can, you should go get them because they're going to go fast because people have been chomping at the bit to enjoy something like that, and the food, the atmosphere, listening to the game and headphones while you call it from the stadium. Are you actually going to be in the booth for the game? Is that the plan?
So for the home games, yes. For the road games, no. At least not to start the season. I think we're going to be in a radio studio in downtown Grand Rapids to do road games. So I don't know if we're going to be like clanging 2 bats together and like pretending to throw a ball in a glove to make sound effects. I don't know what the hell we're going to do, but we're going to make it sound as legit as humanly possible. I know that much. Wow.
Well, that, in desperate times come desperate measures. So I'm sure you guys will do fine. Now, your story popped up as a really crazy weekend for you, wasn't it, Dan Hasty? It was a normal day. Can you maybe start out with your day as to what you were doing and then how it really got thrown on its ear for you?
Hey, look, I guess the main point is, and I'm sure, of course, one of the people you work with the Griffins can attest to this, Bob Kaiser. You just always have to be ready, right? So I was, just having a normal Sunday. My wife was at work just like she is today, and I was on daddy daycare duty. So we were getting ready to watch, I don't know, some stupid kid show. I don't know if it's VeggieTales or, by the way, quick aside.
That is not stupid.
I have a bone to pick with Jack Doles of Wood TV. So I don't know if you saw his tweet, but it literally just read, Dan was about to watch VeggieTales on Sunday. Then he ended up pinch hitting for the Tigers. I was like, You make it sound like I love Veggie Tales, and then I went up and batted for Harold Castro. Anyway, all right.
Yeah,
So I love you, Jack.
that's just a TV guy. TV guys do that stuff.
So, anyways, here's what happened. So I was hanging out with my daughter, and the phone rang, and was in the middle of taking care of her. She just woke up from a nap, so I was trying to get her all situated. Couldn't take the call. It was the Tigers. And I remember thinking, that's kind of weird that they're calling at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. Like, usually that doesn't happen. Usually it's very strict, like 9 to 5 kind of deal. So I let it go to voicemail. And so then all of a sudden I got a text, and it said, hey, can you call me back as soon as possible? And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, is this it? Is this the call? And because you just deny this to yourself from like the very beginning of your time in this business. You never think this is the day. You never think this is the call. You just make up some excuse to think it's probably about something else. So anyways, I was like, no, it's still not it. It's still not it. And so I said, yeah, can I call you back in 5 minutes? And then they texted and they said, here's the situation. Matt Shepard's out today. Dan Dickerson's going over to television. Can you come do radio for us? And at that point, I can promise you, it did not take me 5 minutes to call the Tigers back. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, my gosh, I bet. So, just a little bit of background about you. Are you from the West Michigan area originally? How did this take hold in you at a young age?
So I grew up in Sterling Heights. So I'm an East Sider by trade. But when I was younger, my first minor league game was a West Michigan Whitecaps game. Random story of that game, by the way. This is kind of dark, but you know what? We're all friends here. So the catcher in that first minor league game I ever went to, this is before they had those like things that hang below your chin. So like you had your like neck protected. He took a pitch off the throat, like a catcher. Like I think he just, I don't know if he whiffed on it or if it bounced in the dirt. I couldn't see, but he passed out on the field, and his air pipe swelled up shut. Some people who have followed the Whitecaps for a long time might remember this game. There was an ambulance brought to the field. Ironically, it was church night, so like I'm looking around and like everybody's like got their priest by them. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, the guy was okay. But as it pertains to the Whitecaps, I always loved West Michigan. I used to work with the Great Lakes Loons back in 2007. And I got to know a lot of the staffers for the Whitecaps as a very cocky, like 22-year-old kid who would tell them like, hey, I'm going to be your broadcaster one day. And for some reason they bought it. So long story short, I ended up in Detroit for 5 years at the flagship station for the Tigers and doing Detroit Lions games. And then that job came open. Ben Chiswick, who was the broadcaster for the Whitecaps before me, left. And I said, you know what? I'm going to leave Detroit. I would do that. I would go there because I wanted to do play-by-play, and I just didn't have any reps. So I knew if I didn't leave to go do play-by-play, I would never get the opportunity that I had on Sunday, which was ultimately the goal and the chair that I wanted to be in.
My gosh. So here you are, you have to drive from West Michigan area to Detroit. And I bet you were, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I mean, because doing what you do, you probably don't get nervous at all when you're doing a Whitecaps game, but there was probably some nerves leading up to this, I'm guessing, right?
I don't know if there was enough time to. I mean, I had found out about 4 hours before first pitch. So really, there wasn't any time to do any prep whatsoever. I knew that 3 of those 4 hours I was just going to be spending in my car driving from Grand Rapids to Detroit just so I could make it in time. And then all I could do was fill out my lineup card and go. So, I don't want to say that I was like a weird beneficiary of low expectations, but in a weird way, I felt like I was.
Oh my gosh! So now this is unique because the team was in Oakland, so you're watching a broadcast or a closed circuit of the game and doing play-by-play on that, correct?
That is it. Yeah. So we're at Comerica Park, a completely empty Comerica Park, and it's just myself, Jim Price, who's on my right, and then I have an engineer and an intern sitting behind us. We're in the same room that they call the home games out of. And so in front of me is a monitor that looks like kind of the television feed. And it is, first of all, it's really, really hard to see because it's like you have to kind of lean over. It's kind of like a little bit like dark. And there's no like ball strike out. There's no like scoreboard on it. So the whole game I was guessing like, what's the count? Like how many outs are there? I was like, oh my God. So on my left was something called an all-9 view. And by the way, I've talked to Dan Dickerson about this because that was one of my calls on the drive over. I just said, Dan, how the hell do you do this? Because I've never called games off monitors before, let alone with zero prep time. And he just, kind of just said, when the pitch comes in, look at this monitor. As soon as it gets hit, move over to this monitor. So that helped a lot. But the one on my left was this big 60-inch screen called an all-9 view. It's the same view that you would have if you were the broadcaster at the park that particular day. So you can see the whole field.
Gotcha. Okay. Was there any moment where you're like, because for me, whenever I say something dumb, which is anytime I'm near a microphone, I always am like, why did I do that? Oh my gosh. Was there any moment that and it's usually not a big deal, but to us it is, do you ever have any of those moments?
Oh, 100%. 100%. In the meantime, what was it? I remember there was a play where one of the Oakland A's batters struck out on 3 pitches, 3 straight like swings and misses that weren't even remotely close. And I dropped a big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later. And so I did that, and that was great. And I immediately was thinking about Jeff Daniels. And of course, he was in the movie Dumb and Dumber, so it probably still works out. But as you know, you've seen the movie, Jim Carrey is the one that says it. But in my brain, I'm thinking about Jeff Daniels because I'm like, he's probably listening right now. He loves the Tigers. So I dropped a Jeff Daniels reference just for him.
Oh, that's awesome. Jim Price, how was he to work with?
He's great. You know what I like about Jim is that he kind of lets me poke fun at him a little bit, and he gives it back to me too, which I really appreciate. And I think he has fun with it. I actually went to a Tiger Fest way back in the day, like 1995 or something. It was at Joe Louis Arena, and they had a kids be a broadcaster for a moment kind of broadcast booth. And Jim, poor guy, was having to sit there all day and do these mock calls of like the same 3 highlights with kids.
God.
So anyway, I was one of those kids, and I have a tape from it. It was on the old days of Pass Sports when Tigers baseball was on Pass Sports. And so it's me as a 9 or 10-year-old sitting next to Jim Price. And right now, I think I had somebody trying to weave the 2 games together. What happened when I was 9 versus what happened on Sunday. It's pretty cool.
That's great. That is awesome. It's you got to drop in the art of pitching and stuff like that, Tim. He'd love that because that's one of his standbys. So, yeah.
The yellow hammer, the buggy whip. I didn't get nice area, which I was disappointed in. And I told him that after the game.
Fist pump. Yes. Nice area.
I got a bingo board, Jim. What do you want from me?
Oh, that is awesome. So this is great. We have a long line of people from West Michigan. God rest the eternal soul of Jay Allen. He got the call up there, and just I don't know if you actually knew Jay or crossed paths with him over the years, but what a sweet soul. His time with the Tigers, that was a magical year for him. And then, of course, Bob Kaiser, like you said, he got called up to do the Red Wings game, and now you, Dan. So this is awesome. We got a lot of pros that work in our area.
Yeah, you know what? And just kind of as an aside to Jay Allen, somebody that, I didn't know very well when I moved to Grand Rapids, but it didn't take me long to know who he was, what he was, and how much impact he had around here. And getting to know him over the course of the final few years of his life, I mean, what a great soul. I mean, somebody that, and you know what? I love the fact, how beautiful is it, the fact that the Tigers just happened to pick him. The year before everything went down the way it did. So, I do believe, and I appreciate that the Tigers are always willing to use some of their, local people, if you will, in the sense that the Tigers use their minor league broadcasters to come up and call the major league. They had the AA guy come up a couple of years ago when the Whitecaps were in the playoffs, and they had, of course, Jay Allen come over from Grand Rapids to do games. So, yeah, I actually thought about Jay as I was driving over, because I remember thinking he made this drive more than once.
Yeah. And, and it's not about, hey, let's give them a chance. You guys are all pros. You all could do this in any park in the nation. Or arena. Bob for sure, you for sure. Jay did it. I mean, it's really great to know that there's such a pipeline of talent in that type of industry. I mean, it's not easy work, but you guys are absolutely great. So, hey, man, I'm really happy about this because, it sets a stage for the future. You're still a super young guy. You got plenty of gas in the tank for decades to come. And, man, I'm just really proud of you. Great job.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Okay, so what is it? You're now getting ready to go for this opening day at the West Michigan Whitecaps, whitecapsbaseball.com. If people want to get tickets, I'm guessing they can get them right now. Is that right? Is that how it's working?
Yeah, a small amount of tickets continue to go on sale. We're kind of releasing them in short spurts, if you will. But today, for example, we ended up putting out just a couple more tickets. A limited number of single game tickets go on sale today. That's at 10 o'clock a.m. There's also 5-game, 10-game plans available. You can go to just whitecapsbaseball.com or you can call the Whitecaps, and the number is pretty much anywhere you can find it on the internet. So I would call or go online because those will go pretty quickly, especially in the early months, now that the weather's good.
What is your favorite thing about being a daddy now for 1 year? What is if you could say one favorite thing that you love the most, and then I'll say my favorite.
You know what? It's weirdly that out of the two people in our house, the two parents, my daughter has allowed me even the slightest bit of freedom where she does not afford that to my wife. So it's funny because I can pretend to leave a room and I'll be like, okay, Josie, see you later. And she'll just kind of look at me kind of like, okay, bye, Dada. And then my wife will look at her and be like, okay, I have to go too. See you later. And she will start bawling, just bawling. And I'm like, yes.
I remember when I was very young and my children were about the age that your daughter is now. And for each one of them, this scenario was always my favorite. You're laying in bed on a Saturday and you can hear them stirring and maybe cooing to themselves and talking. And then you go and you open the door and they sense the door is opening and they're standing up and hanging out of the crib and they turn and they look at you and then they smile and they light up like that. Oh my God, that was always my favorite thing in the whole world. Always.
I feel like it's an ebbs and flows thing. Like life is long. Eventually she'll want to have that moment with her daddy where when daddy leaves the room, she freaks out. Because, again, what works today doesn't work a week from now. And you understand this as good as anybody. But I will say, to your point, when I do have to wake her up in the morning or get her up from a nap just in general, I open the door and I'll hear her just kind of, kind of one of those sounds. I'm just like, okay, she knows we're in here. So that's kind of cool. I love that too.
So when she's going to have the boyfriend drama and I don't know what year that'll be for your kids when she's 16, 17, hopefully 35.
39,
yeah, I was going to
40.
say 34, 35. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, get ready, Dan. Holy cow. Oh boy. Well, sweet, buddy. I appreciate you so much for taking the time. That's a great story. And congrats on the gig and doing that. I bet that was a lot of fun. And there's, I'm sure, more to come. And looking forward to a great year and listening to you at the ballpark.
You and me both. I appreciate that, Zane. Thanks, man.
All right, Dan. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. My nerves would be so rattled if I had to do that. Absolutely awesome. Congrats to Dan. Very, very cool. All right. Boy, that was so screwed up when I could not fucking get him on. What an asshole. That's all part of the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast. It was a long open. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, 616-532-6600. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV, I should say. Get your car fixed there if you're in West Michigan. 616-532-6600. Irvines.com. That's ERVINES.com. Get it done there. Domestic, Asian, European. Cornhole boards. Get a set of Eric Zane Show podcast cornhole boards. Unless you're like principled uncertainty and you don't know what that is, how can you not know what that is? I've never heard of that. Well, what the hell would it be called? A board with hole in it that you throw beanbags at? And it was called cornhole because there's corn inside of the bags. Well, there can be. You can choose what you want inside of the bags, either synthetic or actual corn. Seriously. CornholeAmerica.com, anywhere in the USA. Order a set of cornhole boards with your old pal Eric Zane right there on the boards or whatever logo you want. Okay? CornholeAmerica.com. I'm going to get to my dad in just a second. Dear Meathead, send questions, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Before we bring him in, BK Guns and Stuff. They repair weaponry. 616-902-2447. That's the letter B, the letter K, guns, the letter N, stuff. BK Guns and Stuff. Anywhere in America, you can send the weaponry to be repaired, customized, refurbished, clean, whatever it takes. BK Guns and Stuff. And then, of course, my friends at A&E Heating and Cooling. You got to get the AC service before you turn it on. All right? 616-516-8579. That's 616-516-8579. Call today because you have till the end of April to get that thing serviced for $10 off. Normally it's $79. You're going to get it for $69. 616-516-8579. Joe should pick up. If not, leave a message in either English or Spanish, and you can find your way through that. Dear Meathead, brought to you by JM Synthetics, online at jmsynthetics.com. Going to get my dad on here. If you don't know, he's 87 years old. Sweet as peaches, and the nicest person in the world. Everybody loves him. He's the star of the show. Kind of an early start for him. He might be like, hey, why are you so early, guy?
Good morning.
Good morning, Dad. How are you?
I'm well. And yourself?
Never better. Never better. Just getting a start.
Great.
Just getting a start on the day here.
Are we on the air right now?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to talk to you about something, and it's nothing personal. It's about changing oil.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I was talking with the audience yesterday about changing the oil on the truck.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you want to bring it up, what is your opinion on that, Dad?
Well, you got to have some preparations. You got to have a jack to raise up one side at a time and put a jack stand under it. Then go to the other side, raise that up, put a jack stand on it. Now, you don't have jack stands, do you?
No.
Okay. See, if you're going to buy, you got to have that, because you can't just put it on a jack on one side and work on it, and then go the other side and work on it.
Okay. Yep. Now,
it's totally dangerous.
Yeah.
Now, I, for instance, have a pair of jacks. I jacked them up on both sides, and then I could crawl under it. I can trust that. So if you're going to spend the money to buy all that, you might as well go ahead and have it done for you.
Okay. Yeah, I realize that, but I've been feeling like I'm not manly enough. So I've been thinking that that I should get some jack stands or some car ramps.
See, I had all of that. I had the car ramps. I just got rid of it.
Yeah.
And I got jack stands still. But then again, the jack stands poses a danger element if that thing falls off of it.
Right. Well, what about a set of car ramps, Dad?
Car ramps are good.
Okay. So,
but that costs you quite a bit of money.
Well, I know that, but I mean, it's just something I've wanted to do. I've been feeling like I'm kind of, that like this is something that I want to try. And the truck is pretty straightforward to change the oil on the truck, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You just drain the oil and wait about 15, 20 minutes and 25 minutes.
Yeah. No.
and then dry it all up around it so it don't leak all over. You got to put a pan under that. You know that.
Now, Dad, when I go to put the oil in, do I put that plug in first?
Oh yeah. If you don't, you pour it in, and it'll come out the other end.
It will?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
You put the plug in and tighten them all up. Of course, you make sure you don't strip the threads on it.
Yeah, I've actually done that. I did strip the threads on a vehicle's oil pan once. That's why I stopped doing it, because I stripped it.
You try to put it on by hand and see if you can tighten it by hand. If it goes in all the way, it's fine. If it starts snagging, you got a problem. Bring it all the way back out and do it again.
Oh God!
But now, did you get a price to what it costs to change your oil?
Yeah, it's very inexpensive. I actually have one of my great sponsors is Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, and they've done oil on all of my cars, and they will continue to. But for this,
I mean, they're experts; they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know that, but I kind of just wanted to try it, just because, and for the sole reason that I just wanted to do it, But you.
Well, you see, 100 years ago, that was a challenge for me. And I did it, and that was good. And
yeah.
But then again, as I aged, of course, there's no way in hell I want to crawl under that car.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm glad you don't, because you'd never come out.
I mean, I was very secure because I have all the secure elements that any intelligent person would do. But the more I look at him, when you start saying that, I start thinking, oh, my God, I don't think I want him to do that.
So, Dad, I'm writing this down. You said I have all the secure elements that an intelligent person would do.
Yeah. Now, if you really need it, you're desperate, I'd send you $25 every 25 months.
Come on. Come on.
I'm just funning with you.
I know it.
Nobody stopped me. When I wanted to do it, I did it.
Yep.
And I can appreciate how you feel about it. That's great.
Okay. Well, Dad, I got a number of questions here from people who want to talk to you this morning. Are you ready, Dad?
I'm ready, but I want to make a comment before you put me on 100%.
Okay.
I want to tell you something. I have never in my life felt so loved by a group of people that I've never laid eyes on them. These people that they call and talk to me, they're just not even, they're magic human beings.
Yeah, Dad, you're definitely preaching to the choir there. This is a great bunch.
They're great people. If they can live the way they talk, and we had 200,000 people like that around, this world would be a better place to live in.
If they can live the way they talk, this world would be a better place.
Yes. So, I mean, they talk, they care, and all that. Oh, that's awesome people.
Yes, Dad.
I'd like to surround myself with them.
I don't blame you, Dad. I love them very much, and they're all spectacular. Now, what's interesting, because as we do this, not only are we recording the audio, but we're live via Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all that. And I have a relatively new person listening, and he's just getting to know you, this person. I'm assuming it's a dude. And so this person isn't really familiar with you. And this person just wrote, "Is this Eric's dad, or is this some type of act?" And then everybody said, "No, that's definitely his dad. That's definitely his dad." So he's just now getting an idea of what it is you are doing.
Well, he better believe that I'm your dad. I'm so proud of you. That is awesome. I've got a couple of boys that I just love them to the end of the world.
Okay, really good. Okay,
and then I get the same response from them.
Absolutely. Hey, how about this one? This is a question I got from your granddaughter, Jackie.
Yeah? By the way, we called and tried to wish her a happy birthday or something, and we couldn't connect to her.
Oh, you really? Yeah, I don't know. Weird. I know that Jim said you talked to him, and he was very happy to hear that.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Jackie writes, Dear Meathead, I need some advice. My dad, she's referring to me, wears the same type of clothes every day, a sweatshirt and sweatpants. Sometimes he wears the same outfit for days. I'm thinking about buying him some normal clothes, but I worry that I will be wasting my money because he will just continue to wear sweatshirts and sweatpants. Do you think I should throw away his sweatshirts and sweatpants so he is forced to wear the new clothes that I buy him? Love, Jackie.
Well, I didn't know he had this nasty habit because clothing beginning to stink. And I do the same thing. I wear them for a week, and then I get out. But then again, I start thinking, how stupid I am. You know, some of them I grew out of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. If we like it, I don't see why it matters to anybody else.
Well, I should.
But if it smells, then hey, watch it.
Well, I should probably clarify that I actually wash the clothes. That's like the only thing I wear now. I don't have any reason to put on pants or a button-down shirt because, whatever. It's a silly podcast.
Well, I think you ought to do that. I think you ought to look good.
Okay. Okay, so get rid of the...
No, not in the old clothes. I think you ought to look good by changing every couple of 3 days. And I do that. In 3 days, I change it.
So wait a minute. Are you saying you only change your clothes every 3 days?
Every couple of 3 days. I don't count them, but yeah, I do.
What about your underwear, Dad? How often do you...
underwear changes regularly.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Excellent.
But no matter how you look at it, it stinks. I mean, it stinks by the looks.
Oh, of course. Okay. Let's see. Bruce writes this. Dear Meathead, what are your tips for keeping the spark alive in a long-term relationship?
Well, the number one thing, I do a lot of this, and I correct myself occasionally. I said, do not ridicule the partner of yours for what she does. If it's something that she is adamant in doing it, leave her alone. Let her do that. That's her way, and you don't want to change it. Because what's good for you may not be good for the gander.
Yay! Only took 87 years.
Oh,
that's a fact. Let the wife or the husband be what they are. If they're doing something that doesn't suit what your personality is, it's his personality. Leave him alone.
Okay, so in short, you can keep the spark alive by no ridicule.
Yes, do not ridicule your partner.
That'll turn her on if you don't ridicule her.
Well, no, it shows that you're a kind person.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just reading my notes back, and then
okay.
I wrote, "Good for you is not good for the gander."
That's right. What's good for the goose, not good for the gander.
Oh, okay. Goose, gander, you. Okay, got it.
I don't know why she was laughing.
Yeah, I don't know. She just must be in a silly mood. That's why we love her. Okay.
Not silly about me.
No. It's sage. This is sage advice. This is perfect, Dad. John has, Dear Meathead, a friend of mine just got his government stimulus money, and his adult daughter wants him to give her some of that money, even though it's not hers. Also, this daughter eats ice cream while she poops. What should he do about her? She wants his money and she eats ice cream while she poops.
I don't know if I should take on the poop or take on the ice cream. That is kind of unheard situation. I never heard of people eating while they're pooping.
Yeah, that's a horrible thing.
that is not human.
No, it's not. What about the whole idea about her saying, "Hey, Dad, give me the stimulus money that's yours"?
Well, she can't ask it in that fashion.
No.
She can say, "Dad, use some of that money. Can you help me with it?"
Right on. Right on.
You know, I mean, hey, that man his money, and he got some of it back because the government didn't need it or whatever. That's his money. Now, he raised you and spent thousands of dollars in raising you. And now you come up and make that comment. That's pretty.
Absolutely. By the way, this guy who wrote in, he's all of these things he's describing are things that were done by your granddaughter, Jackie.
Well, he's a good man.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, Jackie tried. He's
still a good man.
She tried to get that from me, and she also eats ice cream while she goes number 2.
Well, that doesn't come in effect or in play for how the money is being spent.
Yeah.
But that other one is a gross situation. I don't get it.
Okay.
He better get a psychiatrist to treat it a little bit.
Right. Okay. Dad,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. You know. You absolutely know what I'm talking about. Nathan writes this. Dear Meathead, what is the give me some advice on a Mother's Day present that I can give to my mom and the mother of the kids. And, maybe any type of advice about, because Mother's Day is coming up on May 7th.
Well, the first advice is the fact that if you have missed out in this situation, you have to continuously show love to the mother or the wife. Continuously. That in itself is the biggest God's gift there is you can give. As far as giving gifts, I don't know. The norm is taking them out to dinner.
Dinner is good.
That's about
right.
That's about I think about that.
Okay.
So other than that, there's nothing you want to do. You want to show kindness. You want to show a happy day. Specifically a happy day. Now, I heard some couple that had a fight on Mother's Day.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said one of them said something that didn't sit right with the other one, and they had an argument.
Oh yeah, that's Bush League
on Mother's Day.
Yeah, you can't do that. You gotta let her win. You just gotta let her win.
And then there's no sense of winning or losing. It's just a question of, hey, it's a special day. Treat it with a special feeling.
Yep. All right. And then finally, Dad, Dirk writes this. Meathead, I have a friend that's a little dumb. Could you explain the difference to him between dying for something you believe in and being murdered against your will? Signed, Dirk.
Well, first, let me understand something I did not understand. Would you repeat that whole question?
Sure, yeah, I will. He says, I have a friend who's dumb. Could you explain?
Dumb? You said dumb?
Yeah. He says, could you...
Like stupid?
Yeah, like stupid. He says, could you please explain to him the difference between dying for something you believe in and being murdered against your will?
Well, murder, you're taking a person's life prior to the time that he's supposed to die.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, the guy could have had another 25 years to live, and you murdered him.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what murder is. Yes.
No, that to me, he's got to get the ultimate punishment for murdering anybody else.
Okay. All right.
You don't have any clue how often I wanted to damage somebody, but certainly did not enter my brain to murder them.
Dad,
no, you can't do that. Human beings are there to live, not to be killed by another human being.
Exactly.
Even during the war, there shouldn't be wars.
Dad,
Let people be what they are and what they want to be.
What was your thoughts on the cop, Dad, who just got convicted the other day?
I think he deserved the punishment.
Yeah, there were some people who said that that the guy who died it was his own fault because he had drugs in his system. What do you think about
So
that?
what? So what? It's his system. And he didn't really pose any problem for the police officer.
Right.
The police officer should have subdued him, put handcuffs on him, and take him to jail.
Right. Instead, he killed him.
The guy's on the ground, totally out of his head with drugs, and you kill him.
Yeah, that was terrible. There's no question.
That's a good punishment?
In my opinion, justice was served, and I'm guessing you agree too.
Yes, 100%.
All right.
100%. And I don't know what he was trying to prove. The guy is down.
Yeah.
I mean, God.
Yeah, that was screwed up. That was screwed up.
That's my feeling. I really was upset with that.
Hey, I just realized there was one other question that I forgot to read to you, so I'm gonna read it. Kenny writes this: Dear Meathead, it's a little wordy. I apologize for this, so I'll just take my time. He writes, thanks to people who are fear mongerers, my parents who are high risk refuse to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Kenny is suggesting that because of people who are saying that it's a bad idea, that it influences parents so that they won't get it. And then he goes on to ask or say, Dad, I got my first shot a week ago because I'm scared to death of them getting sick or worse, and I haven't seen them since last summer. This is my driving force for getting the vaccine. What advice can you give me to help me convince my parents to get the vaccine? They're both around 70 years old. Signed, Kenny in Nashville.
Kenny, I don't understand. Now I'm past 86 years, 87 years old. So I have taken the vaccine. Your parents, I don't know why they're paranoid, because they don't have any experience to what this medication does.
Well, I think what the problem is, morons that exist in the world have been expressing themselves that the fear of the unknown is dangerous, that they're scared that the long-term effects of this will come back to haunt them. So that idea has been floated enough that it's influenced Kenny's parents.
Kenny, I hope your parents are listening to me. I am way up there in the years. I have the same situations, but mentally, when I heard there is a vaccine availability, I took it. I survived it with no complications. If I had a little sore shoulder and so forth, okay, it went away in 20 hours. I hope your parents are listening to me. This vaccine will help you survive much greater than you not taking that vaccine. My wife took it, I took it, and my daughters and my children took it. Well, adult children.
Yeah, I think the problem is a large number of the population doesn't believe the medical community when the medical community says it's safe.
Medical community doesn't know everything. They only take the samples of what's happening to the people.
Right.
90%, 99% of the people come out of it healthy.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. I was saying that the medical community says it's safe. But
absolutely safe.
But a lot of people, like on the street, don't believe that.
Well, who do you trust?
Right, that's what I say.
Yourself, right. Your mentality, or the dummies that won't take it.
Exactly, Dad. Exactly. Okay.
I really strongly suggest that you should take that medication.
Yeah, I think looking back on what you said, I wrote it down. Who are you going to trust? The doctors or the dummies?
Right. Absolutely.
That's all you got. God. Yeah, that's what you got. That's all you got to say, Kenny, to your mom and dad. Who are you going to trust? The doctors or the dummies like Dirk? Okay?
Yeah.
That's all you got to say. Dad and Joanne, you guys have hit it out of the park again. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Well, thanks a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Yeah, I know it. April. Now it's no longer a question because I'm going to be vaccinated on Friday, and then 2 weeks out of that, then I will be fully vaccinated.
Is that your second shot?
Yes. Then.
Oh, God bless.
Okay.
God bless America.
Now I would still wear a mask after that,
of
but
course. Not around us, I guess. I don't know.
I think I don't think we'll have any problem. We'll really have minimized our risk there, and that is good because.
Sure, absolutely. You do what you think is safe. That's all there is to it.
Okay, I'll see you in May.
You bet. And if you got my blood in you, you'll do the right thing.
All right. Okay, guys.
Right, buddy.
All right, I love
you, and I love the audience, man. You got the most great people I've ever met
you're not
on
kidding.
the phone.
You're not kidding. I love them. Okay, thank you, Dad.
You bet.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. Another rib-roaring edition of Dear Meathead. Never lets us down. Who are you going to trust? The doctors or the dumb people? Oh, that is spectacular. Thank you so much. And God bless my pals at JM Synthetics for being on with the show and sponsoring Dear Meathead. Man, that was great. Okay. I would love to promote your business. If you're listening to this show or watching it on YouTube, what do you call it? Twitter, Periscope, or Facebook. You know that I can promote your business. Let me talk about your business. All you have to do is reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and I'll tell you how it works. That's what the folks at Horizon Hydroponics did for you people that love to grow stuff. And that could be flowers, vegetables, or the biggest, best cannabis in the world. Not my thing. There was 420 is a big day. Isn't that when everybody smokes pot on 420? And I don't understand. I don't know the history of that, but there's a reason for it. Every April 20, that's a big day. That's when all the big sales happen. Even at like 4:20 a.m. on 420 and 4:20 p.m. on 420, that's like that's holy crap. That's like the Super Bowl. Anyway, if you're growing anything, HorizonHydroponics.com. Hydroponics, the science of growing without soil. Well, they've got plenty of soil there. They've got all different mediums, all different ways for you to grow the biggest and the best. If you've been doing it right over the winter, you've been growing your plants for weeks, okay? And right now, they're already like 2 feet tall, and you're getting ready to put them in the ground. Probably not in the next day or so here in Michigan. As I look outside, I kid you not, on April 21, which it really isn't that big of a deal for it to snow in April in Michigan. When I was talking to Dad, there was a blizzard going on. It was snowing like crazy. Now, Michigan, where I live, you get snow well into May. And up north, in the end of May, you're going to get plenty of snow on occasion. So it should not be a surprise that it's snowing out right now. So as soon as it warms up, get those plants in the ground. Horizon Hydroponics, Horizen hydroponics.com. Buy it online anywhere in the USA. Orders $250 and over, and you can very easily spend $250 and over. They've got a lot of great stuff there, but it ain't cheap. No matter where you buy it. If you orders over $250, the shipping is free, and then you use Zane Show as the coupon code at checkout, you'll save 10%. Not bad. So if you spend $300, you're going to save, do the math, $30 right there. In fact, you can also do this. You can buy it online, use the coupon code, and then pick it up at one of the brick and mortar locations in either Grand Rapids, Byron Center, Kalamazoo, or Lansing, Michigan. And then you don't have to, you can just, pick it up whenever you want. You don't have to worry about it getting to you. Okay. HorizonHydroponics.com. While I'm at it, Van Dyke Mortgage. This is the time. These rates are not going to be hovering just above 2% forever. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. If your credit score sucks, you're not going to get a mortgage at that rate. But for those of you that have that, you can. Probably going to have to convert it to a 15-year. That's wise. You don't want to be in a mortgage where you're going to get it paid off when you're 104 years old. Pay that thing off in 15 years. Figure a way out. I don't know what you're going to have to do. Just get that extra few $100s a month. Pay that thing off in 15 years. Be done with it. And then the equity on the house builds. When you're done paying it off, you're not a stupid old degenerate who can't even move. You can still enjoy your retirement. You got the house. You can sell the house and make a fortune off it. And you don't have to pay the monthly payment anymore. You're going to be rolling in cheddar. Pay that house off in 15 years. Some of you, you're not there yet. Your credit stinks. So get the 30-year at a crappy interest rate. Okay? You know, you're going to get the garbage rate because your credit stinks. And that's whatever. That's the way it is. But pay off that thing for a year and a half. Your credit score goes up. You do a refi with Mario for a lower rate, and you keep working your way up. The frickin' your credit score keeps improving. Your interest rate keeps going down. Within 5 years, you're sitting pretty, and you're like the first group I was just talking about. Basically, this all involves you not being an asshole anymore. Okay? Trust me, I know shit. Van Dyke Mortgage. Well, I take it back. I don't know shit, but I know people who know tons of shit. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. When you call Mario, say, hey, Zane told me to quit being an asshole, so I'm calling you. That's what you do. Okay. Let's talk about... boy, I'm kind of underprepared today. Scam? I thought I sent that story, but I guess I didn't. I think I got all the questions in. Thank you very much for all the questions on Dear Meathead. Thought that worked out great. I had to make sure that I got Kenny's in because he's bummed out by you guys spreading all that nonsense about getting the shot. Would you guys please knock it off? What is wrong with you? All right. Cannot believe this has happened again. I don't know about you, but whenever you hear about a story about a teacher having sex with a student, okay, and the teacher is a female, if you're like me, the first thing you do is you check to see if the teacher is hot. And I don't know if that's just human nature or what, or maybe I'm just an asshole. But that's the first thing I did. And yeah, you know, she's cute. She is a cute slime ball. The folks at UCLA aren't happy with this attire she's wearing in her mugshot. But 31-year-old teacher is in trouble for doing just this. I don't know why, but whenever I hear about a female teacher abusing a boy, okay, like if I heard about a male teacher who is 31 years old having sex with a 12-year-old girl, it's just an extra layer of ickiness. You know, it's really, really gross. And it's super gross, but for some reason, I don't know why, when a chick is molesting a boy, why is it that in my brain I don't feel like it's that bad of a thing as when it's a girl? Is that just the culture that's happening there? I don't know. I definitely think she should be in prison, but for some reason, I'm thinking that the family if it were a girl, that they're going to kick a hell of a lot more ass than if it's a boy. But it could fuck up a boy just as bad. It's really weird to me. It's just kind of what's going around in my brain. But this chick is in deep, deep shit. And now how can you, as a 31-year-old woman, attractive, probably have a family, maybe a boyfriend, maybe a husband, how is it that you can be attracted to a 12-year-old boy? I mean, this is not that all of these variables, the age of her, the age of the boy, this is Mary Kay Letourneau and Ville Falau, which, I mean, that is those are the Hall of Fame members of teacher and boy. If you recall, I mean, if Mary Kay Letourneau and Ville Falau were reversed, if the teacher was a dude and the student was a girl, and they had sex, and the guy went to jail, and then the guy got out, and then she got pregnant, and the guy got out of jail, and they had sex again, and she had a baby, and they had sex again, and she had another baby. And then she gets out of and then the dude gets out of prison, and then he ends up marrying the young student. I mean, it would be the worst thing that has ever happened to anyone ever. Well, that actually happened, but it was all reversed when Mary Kay kept, after she was in prison, kept seeing Falau when she was out on bail, and then they got caught in a car, and then she got pregnant. I mean, it was crazy shit. And she gets out of prison. They end up getting married, and they became like a couple that you would see on like E! Entertainment. So like at any one point, there would be like the Golden Globes, and they'd be interviewing, hey, it's Robert De Niro and his wife. Oh, how you doing, Robert? What do you think's going to be the best picture? And they go, oh, yeah. Oh, hey, thanks, Robert. Let's turn to Mary Kay and Ville. And they were like the fucking, she was the belle of the ball. And how? And they actually stayed a couple for a long time. And then somehow, she got old, and this Falau was like, fuck, man, I got myself an old car here, and I'm a young dude who can pull tons of young tail. She's old as shit now. And they ended up kicking her to the curb, and then she croaked. She died somehow, probably of old age. And this guy, he ended up suing the school, Falau, and he got like millions of dollars. So this is incredible. Talk about a charmed life. At a young age, he was pulling tons of young tail, hot MILF tail. And then, he's been having sex since he was like 4. And he ends up being with her until he didn't even need her anymore. He's totally rich. And then whatever, he doesn't even have. And then she dies. So there's no baggage anywhere. He's like, fuck it, man. And now he's probably sleeping with tons of chicks that are throwing it at him. He's a hot, young, super rich guy. So it all worked out. Okay. This is all tongue in cheek. I hope none of you are like all offended. If you are, fuck off. But anyway, this chick, Marka Bodine, is 31. She started having sex with the dude right around when he turned 13. I don't even think you've got a full boy muff when you're 12 or 13, right? I mean, I remember there was a point in time when I went, holy shit, there's like hair there. Oh my God. I don't even know if I had discovered myself and started beating my meat at that age. That was a crazy time. When you're like, oh, hey, wait a minute, that feels good. When you're a young boy and you figure that out, you think you're the only dude who has this magic power. And you're like, what just happened? And then it's like, oh my God, that was crazy. I think I'm going to try that again. And then after about 10 times, a little bit of goo comes out. And you're like, wait a minute. It scared the shit out of me. Oh my God. Fuck me. Literally. And then you're like, oh man, this is terrible. And then it everywhere. Oh, Jesus, this is a huge mess. I've got some terrible disease going on. And I'm the only person who's suffering from this, but it's awesome. I can't wait to get back to the bathroom. And then you figure out it takes a little time to like recharge. You're like, oh God, I got to wait a little bit. You figure that shit out just like that. And then some of you young boys. You then went and you discussed it with your buddies. Now, I was not the guy who broke it down with my friends, but you know that there was always one kid in the group who went, "Hey, did anybody else discover what happens when you touch your wiener like that repeatedly?" Yeah. Oh my God, that's incredible. I never did that, but it happened all the time. The discussions, man, you've been beaten off. Yeah, me too. Oh, it's great. Yeah. Oh shit, man. Terrible. All right. I completely digress. I'm never going to get through this story. Anyway, she started having sex with the dude, and she was arrested on Saturday, 5 days after the now 16-year-old announced the allegations. See, I would never talk like this if this were a young girl. Never, ever. But this is the whole strangeness of this. For some reason, some of these jokes still can make it through the filter. I would never joke about this if this were a young girl, ever. Anyway, in a statement, the police confirmed charging chick with continuous sexual abuse of a child. She's yet to enter a plea to that charge. She was released on a $100,000 bond. According to the affidavit, the principal at the school contacted the cops after meeting with Bodine, one of the school's teachers. Imagine the awkward. Hey, so Ms. Bodine, we have reason to believe you've been having sex with a little boy. Unless this is because, Ville Falau, he was one of those guys. There was always one in the school who, hit puberty at about 3 months old. And, he had a full man beard. He looked like he was huge and at a young age. So, I don't know. Maybe Mary Kay thought that he was one of the teachers. Who knows? Bodine allegedly told the principal that a former student was harassing her. The police in the community reported that Bodine said the former student was making threats to hurt himself. In addition, she allegedly claimed he had somehow accessed private photos of her that he then manipulated. So she's coming up with all sorts of things saying, oh, no, I was hacked. When they spoke to the former student, the boy alleged that the teacher had befriended him via an online video game. The two started texting and soon after began exchanging explicit images and videos. Oh, God. The alleged victim told the cops that the two first had sex shortly after he turned 13 and that the abuse continued for more than 2 years. The former student also alleged that the two had sex in her classroom and her car several times. My God. According to the affidavit, Bodine confessed during interviews with the cops. In a statement, the school district officials said Bodine was placed on administrative leave as soon as the allegations came to light, and then she resigned. Oh, boy. This is a mess. Yeah, I wonder if when these scumbags actually do this, if they're thinking about Mary Kay. Just the dead eyes on her. And what we need to know is she in a relationship? How would you like, if she's got a husband or kids, how'd you like to be the guy? Let's say she's got a husband who's the same age as her, 31 years old, because Mary Kay Letourneau did have a husband. Okay. And how'd you like to, it's one thing if the wife says, honey, I've found someone else. I've been cheating on you. That's horrible. That's really a sucker punch right there. But can you imagine if she said, honey, I'm leaving you. I've been cheating on you with a 10-year-old boy who has no man muff and is one of my students. I've been having sex with a child who doesn't even know how to beat off. All he knows how to do is have sex with me. I have to actually teach him how to beat off because I've been sleeping with a 10-year-old. If you're that guy, you're like, what the fuck? I'm out. Throw myself out of the window. That's it. Checking out. It's all over. Doesn't matter what I do at that point. There's no turning back. End it. Whew. What a disaster. Well, anyway, she's facing the music. What a sick bitch. All right. Don't forget, we got a paintball event. If you are in the area of West Michigan and want to see you at it, what are you doing waiting to send me an RSVP? Okay? It happens on Sunday, May 16th at TC Paintball. We start at 5 p.m. Reach out to me. How many will be in your party? Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. It's going to cost you $35. You get the gun, you get the paint, you get the mask, you get the fun. We're playing outdoors. It's going to be awesome. Pizza party when we get started at 5 p.m. I'll feed you compliments of BC Pizza on Lake Michigan Drive in Grand Rapids. $35. Normally, this is $48 for this type of event when you schedule your own party at TC Paintball in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They got a fully stocked pro shop. You need any information about getting involved in paintball, tcpaintballgr.com. You got the kids' leagues on Wednesday with the low-impact paintball guns. It's a lot of fun. TC Paintball, online at tcpaintballgr.com. Okay. What do we got for Asshole of the Day? Send them along. You can raise your hand virtually. All right. I would love to see any nominations, or I'll just do it myself. Okay. See that Principled is making himself at home. I'm really stoked about the fact that we've got a new audience member. When you're a show like mine, you build them one at a time. Making pals with Patriot Nick there, who is apparently inviting him together to meet with the group on the Zaniac Zoom. You can get more information about that at Zaniac United, which is the Facebook group that technically isn't really, it's listener operated. I do have access as an admin, but still it's a good time. The Zaniac Zoom sometimes leads to events or moments like this.
I should be on the Zoom. Y'all want to make fun of me when I get fucked up in the Zaniac Zoom?
Definitely the Zaniac Zoom. 8:30 p.m. on Saturday nights. He says, I get up around then. Working nights. So who knows? But nice to have you here as part of the show. Okay. Asshole of the Day. First of all, let me see if we got an email of the day. Well, we got a lot of emails, first of all. Thank you for all the emails for Dear Meathead. That was awesome. You guys are great. Thank you. If you ever want to be the email of the day, write in your well-thought-out email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, on the Shoreliners striping inbox. Shoreliner striping, stripe the parking lot with Shoreliners. Sweep it out. Or, in fact, you can even stripe the athletic fields with Shoreliners striping. Shorelinerstriping.com. They do it all. Asshole of the Day nominees. Who is it going to be? Yesterday, Maxine Waters won in an upset. The Asshole of the Day is brought to you by TC Paintball and JM Synthetics. Nominees could be my daughter, Jackie, for trying to make me get out of wearing sweatpants and hoodies. I can't, in all seriousness, make my daughter the asshole of the day. I wouldn't do that. Anybody who got pissed off at Nancy Pelosi for an innocuous comment that everybody made a big deal over. And the only reason why dummies made a big deal over the Pelosi comment is because they don't like Nancy Pelosi. That's all it is. You guys just don't like an old lady. That's all this is about. And because she's old, she's a lady, and she's a Democrat. That's why you don't like her. Now, I am neither old. Well, no, I'm old. I am not a lady, and I'm not a Democrat. But I know full well that there's a lot of her politics I don't agree on. But you idiots just have an axe to grind with her because she's old. You don't like the way she talks, and she's a chick. That's your problem with Pelosi. Her comment, there was nothing wrong with it, so shut up. Anybody who had a problem with Oakland Raiders owner Mark Davis, you're idiots. You're assholes of the day nominees right there. It's between Chauvin, the people who are pissed off at Pelosi, and the pedophile teacher. Well, Chauvin already is going to probably get the rest of his natural-born life behind bars. Could the sick bitch teacher edge out Chauvin? In the asshole of the day? Let me think about that. As you know, I'm the final judge on these things. And I'm always right. Do you guys get annoyed with how I'm always right? That must bother you sometimes. I mean, you can hate that I am right. And by the way, how do you spell Cahuvin? Because I apparently didn't spell it right the first time. That kind of tipped you off as to who's going to be the asshole of the day. Yeah, without a doubt, it's got to be Derek Chauvin. He earned that. He killed that guy in cold blood on the street. I don't give a shit what was in his symptoms or what was in his blood and what symptoms he had. I don't care how many drugs he had in his system. I don't care how enlarged his heart was. I don't care how much carbon monoxide he had in his blood. Anybody who thinks that he died by anything else other than that cop kneeling on his knee is mistaken. And scoreboard, 12 jurors feel that way too. So unless you say that the whole system's wrong and you're right, well, that's dumb. That's a dumb hill to die on. I'll tell you that right now. All right. Boy, that is an hour and 46 of stone cold truth and awesomeness there on the Eric Zane Show podcast. And I thank you for being part of it. Richard writes, we aren't out of the woods on that one yet. If they slap him on the wrist, the riots will resume. No, this guy's going to be locked away for a long time. All right, folks, so thank you so much. You guys are the best. Until next time, I'll talk to you on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. That's like my favorite part of the day. It's hard to say that could be my favorite part of the day because this part of my day is also my favorite part of the day. They're all my favorite part of the day. Join me on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Principled, did you not yet sign up? What the fuck are you doing? You've been here for almost 2 straight weeks and you haven't signed up on Patreon yet? What the fuck is wrong with you? Patreon.com/Eric Zane. And then you can, contribute to that too, and we'll have so much fun. I work my ass off on the Patreon. Join me, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Okay, smell you later, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.